Respected National Organizing Secretary of BJP, Sri Santoshji, respected former Income Tax Chief Commissioner and Amritha Shatam Program President, Sri P.N. Devdas sir, respected Prant Prajarak, Sri Sudarshanji, respected Managing Trustee, Hindustan Pragashan Trust, Sri Kumarji, respected Seva Bharati State Treasurer, C.S. Vijayakumar, respected BJP North Zonal Treasurer, Sri T.V. Unnikrishnan, other distinguished guests, and my dear friends. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for providing me an opportunity to share some of my thoughts on the topic economic growth of Bharat, past and present, as part of the Amritha Shatam lecture series hosted by Kesari Weekly ahead of the RSS centenary. A warm welcome to each one of you on this significant occasion as we come together to contemplate the intricate fabric of our nation's economic journey, spanning both historical and contemporary dimensions. Standing before you, I am filled with deep sense of responsibility and pride, entrusted with the privilege of chairing this session. On the glorious past of the Bharat's economic growth, about 1,000 years ago, ancient Hindu temples, particularly in South, acted as banks. These temple banks financed great voyages to faraway lands by merchant guilds. Copper leaves depicting tripartite contracts between artisan guilds and which were producing these goods and merchant guilds which were undertaking these huge voyages to faraway lands have been found. In those days, faith, culture, and economic activities were intertwined. Now I'm talking about the past, how glorious we were. News reports of finding Roman and Napoleon era coins, gold coins in temple walls like that of Sri Ananda Padmanabha Swami temple does signify this fact. Despite such prosperity, we faced economic challenges during invasion and colonial rule, particularly under the British in later years. A recent research by economist Srimati Usha Patnaik challenges the widely accepted view in Britain that the colonization of Bharat had minimal economic benefits for the colonizers. Patnaik's analysis of 2 centuries of tax and trade data reveals that Britain extracted a staggering $45 trillion from Bharat between 1765 and 1938. This massive sum was acquired through a deceitful trade system established by East India Company. British colonists collected tax in Bharat and used a significant portion of such taxes to purchase goods locally for British use, essentially obtaining them for free. One may note that Britain did not develop India. On the contrary, Bharat developed Britain. Post-independence, Bharat initially emerged as the wealthiest nation in Asia. 3 of the 5 wealthiest families in Asia were from Bharat, as Japan, China, and most of South Asia was devastated by World War II. With the adoption of the Nehruvian socialism in the 1950s, marked by a preference for public sector units and strict regulations, Bharat economy growth was stalled. The socialist model, including nationalization of key industries, were detrimental, causing sluggish development compared to countries like China and Japan. A few months before independence, this is very important, few months before independence, on April 18, 1947, an act was passed known as the Capital Issues Control Act 1947. The idea behind this was to control the flow of private capital into industry. The government, through the controller of capital issues, held absolute power on the same. This act was repealed only on May 1992, which means 45 years this act was in force. Complete control, together with the licensed Raj, held sway over investments by private sector in the crucial formative years of the nation. The nation was born, it was growing. At 45 years, it was controlled. Investments was controlled. The transformative moment occurred in 1991 when we were forced to go in for liberalization measures, shifting from socialist policies to a growth-oriented economy. This led to significant economic growth, with the GDP increasing from 274.84 billion in 1991 to 3.73 trillion in FY23. The technology sector, particularly software giants, played a pivotal role in this remarkable economic transformation. The shift also saw a change in tax regime, welcoming of foreign direct investments and fostering a more dynamic economic development. Remember, we had a personal income tax rate of nearly 98% in the early 1970s. So who would want to pay taxes? There was a brief period of economic growth, particularly on the infrastructure front, during Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee's period as a PM, like the launch of the ambitious Golden Quadrilateral. Since now comes the golden period of India's economic growth. Since 2014, under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's leadership, Bharat has experienced significant economic growth, with the GDP soaring to $3.73 trillion in 2023. Modi ji's visionary policies, including poverty mitigation schemes, infrastructure development, digitalization efforts, and initiatives like Make in Bharat, Atmanirbhar Abhiyan, have propelled the nation forward. Key achievements include a robust startup ecosystem, massive infrastructure projects, digital transformation, increased foreign direct investment, and a focus on self-reliance. Today, in the world's logistic index, India has moved to 38th position. In 2014, we were 44th. So this massive investment in infrastructure has pushed this growth. These efforts have positioned Bharat as a global economic player with the potential to become a developed nation by 2047. Now friends, no Prime Minister has ever done more for the poor than Sri Narendra Modi ji, and results are there for everyone to see. He has taken more people out of poverty than any other Prime Minister. The government has taken significant emphasis while formulating schemes on women's empowerment, ranging from financial inclusion to social security. The government policies are being seen committed to removing obstacles and promoting the progress of Nari Shakti for overall public growth. Tax reforms have also always been a key focus, including simplifying compliance, expanding the tax base, and rationalizing the provisions. Introduction of GST in 2017 was a massive tax reform taken by our nation since independence. The government addressed tax litigations by streamlining appellate provisions and highlighted the increase of importance of GST. These measures thus helped in contributing substantially to the government revenue. As a tax professional, I would like to state at this juncture that on a closer perusal of the GST litigations for the year, the entire 2023 year, what were decided by the various courts, High Courts and the Honorable Supreme Court, the decided cases by various courts, including Supreme Court, has collectively shaped the evolving dynamics of GST jurisprudence, addressing complex facets of taxation, procedural fairness, and legal interest. The act is slowly growing and settling down. The Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, another very important policy decision by the government, has contributed to significant employment generation, with the Bharat's labor market undergoing a transformation towards self-entrepreneurship. That's what our friend was referring to in his brief introduction. EPF has seen significant enrollment under EPFO, has seen significant increase of new entrants during the period, which is another indicator of employment generation. The employment rate between July 22 and June 23 has declined to a 6-year low of 3.2% as per annual periodic labor force survey. Now coming to agriculture. Agriculture is witnessing a transformation driven by thriving agri-startup ecosystem, increased innovation and adoption of technology, integrated agriculture, agri-fintech, sustainability, and climate change adaptation. Investments in sectors are accelerating with continued government support for improving infrastructure, export facilitation, and farmer-centric incentives. The transition of workers from agriculture to manufacture and service is crucial and requires skill development initiative on a large scale, as both the United States and China has shown that only 10% of the total workforce is ideally required for sustained agricultural growth. On the manufacturing front, government is taking proactive steps to strengthen the domestic manufacturing capabilities. These steps include incentives and policy measures that have attracted interest from global organizations in sectors like electronics, IT hardware, and textiles. The semiconductor industry is booming. We are making huge investments into that. A little late, but we are doing it. Make in India 1 was a key factor in evolution of our manufacturing sector, and Make in India 2 has continued this momentum. A typical example for Make in India is the Vande Bharat trains that you find all across. Bharat has the potential to become a global manufacturing hub. By 2030, it is expected to contribute over 500 billion annually to the global economy. In 2023, the manufacturing sector in Bharat reportedly employed 35.6 million people. Now coming to the service sector. The service sector continues to dominate Bharat's GDP with a focus on emphasizing on technology for enhanced competitiveness. On the export front, it is seen that between 2018 and 2022, our exports to the United States has increased by 44%. Huge. While that of China has declined by 10%. Now what is the point here? The point is that our products are making inroads into the US market, replacing the Chinese. This growth in our exports is visible in various products ranging from machinery, health and wellness products to food items, clothing, shoes, toys, etc. Walmart, the giant global retail chain, alone aims to buy goods worth 10 billion from Bharat every year by 2027. Bharat exports of goods and service could touch 900 billion in the current financial year, up from 700 billion in previous year, keeping robust despite global headwinds. Government initiatives like export promotion schemes and product-linked incentive (PLI) schemes are helping Bharat become a high-value commodity exporter. Our fiscal deficit is currently at 6.5. This is what our friend was saying. Our fiscal deficit is currently at 6.5% of the GDP, with the plans to reduce it to 5.9 in the coming fiscal. This is where the fiscal discipline needs to play a major role on the part of the government. And today I think I saw in one news that the Honorable Finance Minister requesting for the details from various ministries, total investment details required for the upcoming budget. The government aims to achieve this through robust tax collections. Incidentally, the tax collections are up 18% at rupees 12.37 lakh crores so far in the financial year 23-24. Looking ahead, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji has set ambitious economic plans of a 5 trillion economy by 2025 and a 10 trillion economy by 2030s. The government agenda includes providing opportunity to all citizens, inclusive growth, stimulating growth, job creation, and reinforcing macroeconomic stability. Bharat currently stands as the world's fifth largest economy with a GDP of 3.7 trillion, showcasing buoyancy amidst global uncertainties. With a strong GDP growth of 7% in FY23 and a projection of 6% in FY24, remains a robust and healthy economic performer. Our economic potential is significant, and with a goal to become the third largest economy by the 2030s. The domestic digital, this is another major revolution which even Japan doesn't have. The domestic digital market, like the Open Credit Enablement Network, OCEN, and the Open Network of Digital Commerce, ONDC, together with the growth in various sectors like electronics, automotive, etc., contributes to our economic expansion. Incidentally, the stock market has reached an unprecedented over 4 trillion valuation, driven by a rising retail investor base and foreign inflows. In short, our economic growth journey involves addressing of challenges, fostering innovation, and embracing opportunities in agriculture, manufacturing, and service sectors, all within the context of dynamic global landscape. For this to materialize, we require a stable and decisive government at the center. What our nation truly yearns for is the presence of a robust, unwavering, and decisive government at the helm. I earnestly anticipate and hold the belief that Prime Minister Modi ji-led NDA will be voted back to power in the upcoming general elections with a thumping majority. I think it should be a little louder. Thank you. This will play a pivotal role in nurturing investor confidence and fostering a climate of economic prosperity. India's return to power would undoubtedly start a course towards a brighter and more promising future for our beloved nation. To conclude, in a globally uncertain period, building buoyancy is crucial for businesses and financial entities. To ensure robust growth, there is a need for investments in capacity building, human resource development, and technology adoption. Confidence in Bharat's prospects is very high, providing an opportunity for sustainable and inclusive growth. Amid uncertainties, there are new opportunities that we must seize for meaningful achievements. As Bharat stands at the forefront of global influence, let us be the torchbearers of justice, prosperity, sustainability, inclusive growth in our journey into the future. I'm sure the learned speaker of the day, Sri Sandorji, would enlighten us with his thoughts on the subject. Wishing you all a very happy and prosperous New Year. Thank you.